President Biden speaking for almost half an hour, the speech, and then he took several questions, including from our own Peter Doocy. Just one quote that he had from the speech, and I'll get everybody's reaction here. When it comes to the terrorists who did the attack today, he said, "We will not forgive, we will not forget, we will hunt you down and make you pay," with all the resources at his command as the President of the United States. The other thing that Peter Doocy asked him, "Do you bear any responsibility for what's happened in the last 2 weeks?" He says, "I bear responsibility for fundamentally all that happened of late, but here's the deal," and here's the but. "You know, I wish one day you would say these things. You know as well as I do that the former president," meaning President Trump, "made a deal with the Taliban." He also paid tribute to the 12 U.S. service members who died today in this terrorist attack, and he asked the nation for a moment of silence. So this was the speech that he gave. Bill Hemmer, want to give your thoughts as you...
Well, a couple things here. I'll go quickly to make sure everybody gets a chance here. I thought Peter got as close to the essential question as anyone did, and that is, sir, is this on you? And in so many ways, we heard that question from Peter. With regard to the future here, I thought he had a few strong moments. I would argue also that all these moments were late by about 10 days. I don't know if he's going to say these ISIS terrorists will not win and we'll hunt them down and we will not forgive and forget. I think that is that is the proper language. But how you do that from over the horizon, how you do that when you're leaving, how you do that when it's pretty clear from their comments right there that we're still gone as of Tuesday, the 31st of August. With regard to the peace treaty, here it is. I mean, in a remarkable twist of irony, it's 6 pages in length. It was signed on February 29th, 2020, which was a Saturday, leap day in a leap year. You know what also happened that day? South Carolina primary, which catapulted Joe Biden to the head of the Democratic primary. In this agreement, it states there are 4 parts to it. And one of them, mentioned 4 different times, is intra-Afghan negotiations between both sides, the Afghan government and the Taliban. For whatever reason, blame whomever you want to blame, that did not happen according to this deal.
Jesse?
He doesn't have to go by the Trump-Afghan deal. He's shredded so many Trump deals, the Remain in Mexico pipelines. All of a sudden, he has to do what Trump did. I'm not buying that at all. The headline here is that he's sticking to the deadline. The other headline is he's going to do whatever it takes to kill these suckers that blasted us today and rescue every American that's still stranded. In general, the vibe was off. Labored, breathing, array of emotions. At one point, he started crying, and the next time he was like John Wayne, getting tough. I couldn't tell what was going on. He'd actually said that it was not a mistake to put the Taliban in charge of being our bodyguards. Not a mistake. Wouldn't do it any other way, right? Then he went out of his way to do 2 things, defensively, in my opinion. He explicitly said how engaged he was, how many times he was briefed. He knows the perception is he's disengaged. Number 2, the commanders all agree. Everyone's in agreement. There's no disagreement. I'm not buying that for a minute. I believe there's a ton of disagreement, especially when it comes to retaking Bagram. He put that on the generals, and they said, "Oh, no, generals don't want to retake Bagram." Yeah, because you have 5 days left to hit the deadline, and you only have 5,000 troops. All in all, he said a couple good things off of a teleprompter, but I'm not convinced he means them because he's totally shredded his credibility by being wrong and not being tough enough.
Can I say something about Bagram just to follow up real quickly, and then I'll get to Greg. Bagram, we left on July 6th, 2021. That was the same week that Joe Biden was saying the Taliban had a very low chance of taking over the country. So it's a very different thing for him to say now that we don't want to reopen Bagram. At the time, the general said it wasn't a military asset for us, and we also weren't planning this mass evacuation and this airlift, which they keep touting as some kind of success, the biggest airlift in history. Why are we doing an airlift? I mean, so the timeline on that is dishonest.
They very much want credit for the airlift. You hear that even from reporters who've covered the White House for a long time. We're like, okay, yeah, we get it. You want the credit for the airlift, and we want people to get out. He said, Greg, that he's going to get everybody out. We didn't talk about resources.
Yeah, I don't know how you can fight while you're running away. Bill already said that. How do you hunt and withdraw at the same time? You know, who instructed him? Who instructed him to pick the reporters when he said, "I've been instructed"? Was that also the Taliban? Are they also in charge of the presser?
Yeah, just call on him. You don't have to say that.
Yeah, just call on him. I've been instructed, because you immediately when he says that, you put it in with the fact that he looks incredibly defeated. He just it's like you don't have this feel of confidence. Maybe it was just because he was sad, but he sounded defeated. He sounded tired. There was a flash of anger here and there. And the other thing that I never trust anybody that says consensus. Anytime that you ask something about somebody, and they go, well, there was a consensus, that means it was a bad idea, because you don't get good ideas by consensus. No, you don't.
Like
you get the worst idea by consensus, because everybody is looking out for each other, and they all blend, and that's what happened.
Katie, the entity that is not defeated or tired is the Taliban and ISIS-K.
Well, and Joe Biden wants to talk about how the Taliban is acting in our interests, but it's the Taliban who let ISIS and al-Qaeda out of that prison. So eliminating any kind of responsibility from the Taliban in this situation, I don't think is going to fly when it comes to the facts.
Let's say one last thing, Dana.
Please.
I think every flag around this country immediately, and every capital around the world, should be lowered in memory of those Marines we lost today. They gave their lives for the ultimate sacrifice, and that was to try and help an aspect of humanity that needed it dearly. And right now, there are thousands and thousands of people back in Afghanistan, as we speak, who still need the help. God bless them.
And they will. They'll continue to carry out this mission. And as Trey Yanks was saying, they have to retrograde, which means basically you have to figure out a way to get all of your troops out on time.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.